Alrighty, so it is time to go fight some dragons. Back in the Valley of Mines, and as I recall from last time, we have this journal entry about dragon hunters, and since it is a new chapter, there are going to be a couple of changes here to this area of the game. We already saw some evidence that mercenaries from the mercenary camp at Onar's farm got a bunch of new equipment forged by Bennett and then set out to slay some dragons. So, oh, Bilgot's still here. Oh, and there's a dead dragon hunter.
What are you doing here? I thought you were headed across the pass.
I just can't go on. Let me rest for a minute. I'll manage. Don't worry.
If you say so.
Just a little break.
Man, that's a pretty long break. You've been sitting there for like 2 chapters, buddy. Yeah, so a bunch of the mercenaries from Onar's farm, led by Silvio, I guess, have set out to the Valley of Mines to try to slay some dragons. And, ooh, here we are. Whole bunch of dragon hunters.
That's the first I've heard of. He never would have thought of that himself.
Biff, Hokern, Gorn, Godar, Kjorn.
Hey, come over here.
What do you want?
This valley's a dangerous place, and without the right equipment, you'll find yourself dead in no time.
I assume that you've got the right equipment.
You guessed it. I might even sell it to you.
Secret. It can't go
This
on
guy
forever.
sounds like the second coming of Mud from Gothic
That was
1.
obvious all along.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Nothing's ever going to change that.
Do you sell information as well?
That depends. If the price is right, I'll tell you everything I know.
How much do you charge?
Hard to say. But I think that 50 gold pieces for every piece of information I give you sounds about right.
That's really not my problem.
I need some information.
50 gold pieces.
Do you really believe that?
Yes, here. Now tell me.
Nothing's ever going to change that.
Tell me about the dragons.
I don't know who to believe
Dragons
these
are
days.
ancient, incredibly powerful creatures. Once there were thousands of them living all over the world. It's been over 100 years, though, since any of them were seen. Their blood is as hot as boiling oil. If they look into your eyes, your heart will turn to stone, so I've heard.
That's really not my
I need
problem.
some.
He simply needs to.
This really is expensive.
Now
He never would have thought of that himself.
tell me about the orcs.
The orcs haven't been here long. At least those orcs in front of the castle, that is. But I'm wondering about how well they're organized. Orcs usually attack blindly, no matter what. These orcs are biding their time. They're waiting, but we don't know for what.
It had to happen.
Well,
sooner or
it's
later.
that's like common siege tactics. You're just trying to wear out your enemy,
So don't tell
cut
me
off
that
their
you
supply,
really
wear them
believe
down.
that.
You know, that's kind of just
I need.
seems like they're just waiting for the guys in the castle to
Done that.
think?
Yeah, now
wear out.
tell me about the castle.
That's really
It lies pretty much in the center of the Valley of Mines.
done that.
Back when the valley was still a prison, the ore barons controlled the entire ore trade from there.
can't help him.
Nobody wants
That was
to know.
boring.
I need some. Yeah, now
That's been known a long time.
And now I can't ask about.
no big
Oh, it's
deal.
more about. Oh, all
tell
right.
me more about the dragons.
All dragons are not alike. Some of them could cover the entire land with a layer of ice several feet thick. Others prefer living in swampy surroundings or in
I used to
volcanoes.
say that myself.
Why is this guy
I need.
so knowledgeable about
Do you really believe
creatures that haven't existed for 100 years?
Yes, here.
Or
Now
haven't
tell,
been seen for 100 years?
tell me more.
The orcs are led by elite
telling you
warriors.
anything yet.
Those warriors are very strong and heavily armored. They are almost impossible to defeat. I once saw one of them fell a fully grown oak tree with
I used to say
one
that
blow
myself.
of his axe.
That doesn't help me at all.
I need.
Is it really true?
Yes, now
Same old thing.
tell me about the
The Valley of Mines of Carinus is known all over the country for its magic ore. These mountains are the only place where the magic ore can be found. A weapon forged from this ore is virtually unbreakable and will cut through the strongest armor. Until a few weeks ago, the entire valley was surrounded by a magic barrier. It was impenetrable, and nobody could get out.
I need
50
Listen to the wrong people.
Yes, now
I couldn't care less.
tell me more about
The valley has changed a lot during these last few days. When the orcs came, the other horrible creatures showed up as well, the likes of which have never been seen around here before. They say that a few lonely hunters are still about, but I'm not sure whether they're even still alive. It seems like all the creatures of Beliar have flocked together in this very valley.
That was no big deal.
I need
50
Yes, now
That's all just gossip.
you know, just give me back my money.
suit your
Good. I was really worried that I was going to pay him to tell me nothing.
Amazes me.
What can
I'm staying out of it.
I'll buy some apples. Sure.
That's not what I heard.
Same
Yeah,
old
this
thing
guy's
all
supplies
over
kind of
again.
suck. Oh, I guess I
Listen to the wrong
probably
people.
shouldn't have bought those. I forgot that I have
I
a
won't be
healing
treated away
spell
with that.
now.
Got my own medicine about
But yeah, just paid him a few hundred gold to really not tell me much of anything that I didn't already know, both from having played the first game and from having already explored this area previously.
Hey, you. Guys like you should watch where they're going.
What are you trying to tell me?
I mean that the air out here isn't good for your health. And the place is just swarming with orcs and monsters.
Yeah, I was here
Not
earlier.
to mention the dragons. It's just a well-intentioned warning.
I've been here way longer than you have.
Been there, done that.
Here we go. Can you tell me something I don't know
Can
already?
you tell me anything I don't know already?
What does
I
he
can give you a
know
good
about
piece of
duties?
advice, and it's even free. We can't use anyone here who faints dead away at the slightest dragon fart. Go home.
I couldn't care
This is
less.
a job for real men.
Ah, push off. I killed the sleeper.
What does he know about duties?
Are you the boss here?
Do I look like it? Certainly not. We don't need any self-important jerk ordering us around. When Silvio tried to act like he was the boss, we showed him and his buddies what we thought of that. There was a brawl.
I'm
In the
staying out
end,
of it.
they left on their own. I hope Silvio wound up in a soup kettle of some orc.
So, you want to kill dragons?
Smart ass. So, do you know how to bring down a dragon? Do you think the beast will just sit there quietly while you chop off its head? Something like that takes good planning and decisive action.
I see. And how are you going to go about that?
First, we'll scout out where we can find the beasts. Only then will we think about the best way to attack.
The things
Well,
I've
you
been
see, I've already got this planned because I got my summon demon spells, I got my fire rain. Should be good.
I've got no time for things.
I think you won't even find a blind sheep.
What? Do you want me to push in your stupid face?
Oh, he's.
And now for the
I
fun
don't
part.
want to risk killing him with the
Finish
claw.
him!
Show him!
Don't stop now!
Give it your all!
Why does he hit so hard and yet I deal so little damage?
Hang on!
I have a 97% mastery with one-handed combat. Actually, it should be over 100 now. So,
Show him!
and yet I can't even ding his health.
Show him!
And my magic spells do nothing?
Finish
Are you
him!
kidding me? This is dumb as hell. And now the sound is glitching out horribly? Oh my god. This is
All that matters is
frustrating.
strength. So don't tell me that.
Hey, you.
What-
I'm
Nothing amazes
More,
me
believe
anymore.
me.
Believe everything you hear.
I,
He really should
I-
have known better.
Completely.
First, only
Pick that up then.
How are you gonna get...
We'll worry about those.
Nobody will want anything from me.
Yeah, let's
I
fight.
think...
What?
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Hang on!
Now! Finish him!
Hang on! Hit him!
Watch out!
That hit the spot. Show him!
Parry that!
Hit him!
Watch out!
Show him! Watch out!
Parry then!
Hang on!
Parry then!
Hang on!
Parry then! That hit the spot.
And he's using a rough sword? Good grief.
It had to happen sooner or later.
He ran like the Beliar himself was after him.
Tell me that isn't true.
You listened to the wrong people.
I've heard a thing or two.
Anything's possible.
We'll see about that.
You hardly know
All right, all right.
these days.
You have to step in and sort
I
things
guess that was it.
What does he know about duty?
You hardly know who to believe these days.
What?
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
That's not what I...
Where do you come from?
We come from, the city.
Who you tell what.
Yeah, he really said that.
I never saw you in town before.
I could have told
I
you that.
can't stand people who stick their noses into things that don't concern them,
Been
understand?
known a long time.
I see. You come from the city.
Exactly.
That's been known a long
What are you doing here?
We heard about the dragon hunt,
You have to feel
so we
sorry
packed
for
up our
the
stuff and came here. But to be honest, I don't give a shit about dragons. I just want a bit of gold.
He should
Dragons have gold, don't they?
Certainly.
I never knew that.
What do you know about the dragons?
I only know the stories they tell the children. You know, virgins, gold, fire breathing, that kind of thing.
It's better to watch out who you tell what.
Where are you planning to go from
I
here?
really
No idea. We're still thinking about it.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
What about the orcs?
The whole
All the
castle
rest
is
is
surrounded.
stuff.
There aren't any
Tell me
gaps.
that.
Trying to sneak through there is insane. If you try to fight, you're a
Never
dead
would've thought of
man.
that himself.
Nobody gets through there.
Ah, really?
It can't go on like this forever.
Yep, I've already been there though,
Is
so
it really true?
let's save good buddy Gorn for last.
Ran like rabbits. I was completely alone.
What are you doing here?
That is truly the stupidest question I've heard in a long
You have to
time.
step in and sort things out.
That was no big deal.
I haven't a clue.
I'm waiting for something to finally happen here.
He really should have known better.
What do you expect to happen?
Can't go on
Oh
like this
man,
forever.
you're really not the sharpest knife in the drawer. If I
Things I
knew
could
that,
tell you.
I wouldn't have to wait.
You mustn't believe
What could
everything
happen
you
then?
You're getting on my nerves.
I couldn't
Look,
get away with that.
I don't care what happens, just as long as something
I'm not
does
touching
happen.
that.
This is the
Why don't you
weirdest
do something, then?
conversation.
If you don't stop asking stupid questions right
course
now,
we gotta
I'm gonna
believe
shut your dirty mouth.
That was no big deal.
This is so bizarre.
If you just wait around here, nothing will ever happen.
That's it.
Don't stop now!
Come on,
Don't stop
boy.
now!
Attaboy.
Finish him!
I'm having to switch over to the Master Sword when their health
Show
gets slow
him!
because the magic
Show him!
lightning bolt strike from the Claw of Beliar will kill them permanently, and I don't want to do that.
That hit the spot.
Ow.
Hang on!
Don't take any
That hit
crap.
the spot. Hang on!
Watch out!
That hurt.
That hit the spot.
These guys give a lot of XP. They're using such crappy weapons. but yet
He simply needs to practice.
they hit so hard.
It was just like you said.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Well, we'll see the next time.
I've got my own opinion about that.
What are you hoping to...
Gold and honor. What else?
Believe me.
When I'm finished with the dragon, I'll be swimming in gold. Enough to spend the rest of my life frequenting every tavern and cat house in the country.
Frequentin.
I already thought as much.
That's not how you say that word.
Tell me that isn't true.
Either that,
Just like
or you'll
you
be
said.
dead.
So what? That's part of it.
Things would have
If you
turned
want to
out
get rich,
differently if it
you
hadn't
gotta
been
take a
for
few
us.
risks.
He really didn't deserve that.
How would you like to...
Tell me that isn't true.
I'm not touching that.
You'll get half of the
Tell me that
booty.
isn't true.
That sounds good. But and one more thing.
He really didn't
I don't want any
deserve
weapons
that.
or other junk you collect here. I'm only
staying out of
interested
it.
in gold. Got it?
He really didn't deserve that.
It was his decision.
This is...
Suit yourself.
Yeah, I
Got
don't
my own opinion about that.
don't want him following me.
Do you have anything to
He
drink?
thinks it's as
I
easy
assume that it's not water you want.
No, damn it.
I hardly know
I
what
need
to
something
believe.
alcoholic so I can finally get rid of these damned headaches.
Tell me that
When
isn't
I haven't
true.
had anything to drink for a while, my skull feels like it's gonna explode at any moment.
That probably means that you're
isn't true.
addicted and having withdrawal syndrome or withdrawal symptoms and should lay off of it.
I couldn't
Here,
care
But I
take
will
this.
I wouldn't be so sure.
what's the word? I will enable his alcoholism.
less. Can't rely on that.
Ah, that hit the spot. So,
Of course.
now
we
I
got
can
him in
think
the end.
clearly again. What can I do for you?
He really should have known better.
I've heard a thing or two.
No idea. You tell me.
Of course we got him in the end.
He really should have known better.
But he knew that all along.
Hey,
That isn't true.
I'm looking for someone who can teach me something.
I could teach you a few things.
Nobody
I'm
wants
the
to
best
know.
fighter for miles around. Since we're friends,
I can't believe
I'll give
that.
you a special price. 300 gold pieces.
No idea. You tell me.
oh, he's probably not going to teach me anything I really want to know.
Same old thing
Eh,
all
screw
over
it.
again.
All right, here's the money.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Let's start with the training.
Later.
Then we'll see what we can get out of your
step
rusty
in and
paladin
sort
bones,
things out.
eh?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Where did you pick that up then?
Yep,
Things would have
he
turned
teaches
out
me nothing.
differently
That
if it
was
hadn't
a
been for
waste of
us.
300 gold. Actually, how much gold do I
Can't
have?
believe that.
10 grand. I paid that other guy like
That's no
500,
secret.
600 gold to tell me a bunch of crap. I guess he did tell me, like, if you've not played the game before, he gives you a hint that you can find the 4 dragons in cold, damp places and fire or whatever. It gives you at least a hint of where 3 of them would be.
It
But
can't go on like this forever.
What are you
That's no
doing here
secret.
anyway?
I don't have any idea what we're doing here or when it'll
Can't
start.
believe that.
And I don't care as long as I have enough to drink.
I'm staying out of it.
Do you know where the dragons are then?
What's in it for me if I tell you?
And there's more, believe me.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I've still got a bottle of gin.
I'd fight every
His
dragon
decision.
in the world for a fine vintage. Agreed.
He
Give me
ran
the
like
bottle.
Beliar
I'll
himself
keep
was
that
after him.
for a rainy day.
That will never change.
All right now, where are those dragons?
Naturally, I can't tell you anything
I
precise,
couldn't care less.
but I've heard that there are supposed to be 4 dragons. We've seen a
trouble as
red
it is.
glow over the highest mountain at night.
What
I
does he
swear by
know
my
about
mother,
duty?
if you're looking for a dragon, then you'll definitely
Didn't
find
get
one
that
there.
from me.
Alright, and I think that was telling me where the fourth one is.
All right now, where are those dragons?
Naturally, I can't tell you. I swear.
He really should have known better.
Here's...
I've got my own opinion about that.
He really should have known
I'm
better.
feeling a lot.
I'm in enough
Here's
trouble as it is.
You don't have to tell me that.
I'm feeling a lot.
Okay, whatever.
That's no secret.
Good buddy Gorn.
I've heard a thing or two.
I can steal his purse.
Tell me that isn't true.
Sorry, buddy. We need the XP.
Of course we got him in the end.
I see you've joined the dragon hunters.
I followed Silvio into the Valley of Mines because I know my way around here best and wanted to get a clear picture of the situation. I'll tell you what, something's definitely brewing here. I've never seen so many orcs in one place in all my life. It wouldn't surprise me if Garand and the paladins in the castle had all fled or been slain by now.
What are your plans now?
I'll follow the boys here to the Valley of Mines first, and then take off later. I really have to find out what the orcs are planning.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
I'll see you around.
Look out for yourself.
That'll never change.
That was quite obvious.
I couldn't get away with that.
It can't go on like this forever.
Nobody wants to
Alright, I
know.
think that's about it for all these guys.
I've heard a thing or two.
So the official clues we've been given were cold place, damp place, fiery place, and then mountain. And I think the mountain one is talking about this mountain right here above my head. 'Cause I think that's probably the stone dragon. So I could just go start fighting dragons right about now, but I'm a bit stronger now and can probably explore a little bit better, so I'm gonna fight a little bit of some of the enemies around here and, of course, stop in at the castle, see how everything's doing there. Because I think there's some new NPCs and changes there, new quests, and so on that I can pick up. Nice. Let's see how much this holy arrow does to a snapper. Why does it do like nothing? Like, I don't understand why this holy arrow is so useless. 100 magic damage. Like, there's no way a snapper has high enough magic resistance to negate all of my damage, right? Kind of feeling like I wasted 5 skill points on that. It's chapter 4 and this rune isn't even strong enough to hurt a snapper that I was killing in chapter 1. Oh man, I got both of them. Yeah, see, it does nothing. Ow! Well, that was a lot smoother.
Nothing to be had there.
And yet it's like, it's damaging an orc warrior. Oh, I have no more mana. An orc warrior is so much... It should be, like, much stronger than a snapper. So why does it not do, like, anything against the damn snapper? Boy, that's stupid. Orc Shaman? See if I can pop some damage on him. Yeah, he's got higher mana or magic resistance. Makes sense. It does nothing to wargs. Does it just not damage, like, animals or creatures? Does it only damage, like, humanoid opponents? Ah. Meanwhile, the Claw Beliar has just stopped making that annoying zapping noise when the lightning bolt triggers. I kind of like it because that thing was... In fact, my magic's not... Even my healing spell's not doing anything. That's making noise. Ooh, fire lizards. Oh, there's a lot of fire lizards. I don't recall if these were here in Chapter 2 the last time I was here. Ah. Actually, wait a minute. I'm still wearing all of my, my agility boosting things. I should switch over to... Hey, we'll just go with the warrior amulet. Go with my all defensive lineup. Whoops. Sounds like there's two things. Oh great, there's an invisible fire lizard. That's not good at all. Especially when I can't get a lightning bolt. Ah. Oh, man. That's great. One minor issue with this game is that the default camera placement is oftentimes in such a way that like it completely blocks your view of the things directly in front of you, which makes it harder in a fight like this to see what the lizard is doing to time my actions properly. And I play this game with the keyboard only because the mouse controls are just like not that great. And this is not terrible. I've never played Gothic 2 with the mouse because Gothic 1 was what I was used to, and that game had really terrible mouse controls. So, like, they really only ever use the mouse to manually reposition the camera sometimes. Alright, so it looks like I don't have an invisible fire lizard. Does nothing on the lizard. I'm seriously beginning to think that Holy Arrow just only works on humanoid opponents. Or possibly things that the game decides are like evil or like Beliar spawn. So like orcs and things would be considered bad or evil. But then like a lizard would not be. Although a warg is supposed to be like an orcish dog, so I would figure that would be part of the army of evil. But I guess not. Oh, I got both of them? Crap. Not only did I not realize there'd be dragon snappers in there, I did not realize there would be two of them. And this is kind of a disappointing cave.
Enos is my honor.
Oh, it was a troll.
My honor is my life.
That's unexpected. I'm gonna go kill a troll. It does nothing against a troll. I didn't want to get both of these guys either. I'm gonna guess that nothing has really changed here. Actually, come to think of it, I can still pray at some of these statues of Enos to get some mana and strength upgrades. Already got my dexterity ones. See if Grimes has anything to say.
Hey!
You know, this rock is damn...
Yeah, it's the same. Alright. Now's probably a good time to warp to the castle and talk to those guys, rest in a bed and so on.
It's good that you've come. All hell is breaking loose here.
What happened?
The dragon hunters are strutting around here in the castle and bragging that they can solve the dragon problem. But I'll tell you what, the way they look, they won't even kill a sick old snapper. A lot of us are getting really worried by now and no longer truly believe that we'll ever make it out of here alive.
Weren't there two of you sentinels up here?
Not anymore. Sengrath stood here on the battlements when suddenly he fell asleep. His good crossbow fell down when that happened. We could only just see one of the orcs snatch it up and disappear with it into the darkness. Sengrath woke up then and just ran into the night towards the orc palisades. He hasn't come back since. Enos, be with us.
So that's a new quest. Is it possible that there is a knight somewhere in here who will give me better armor?
You're pulling such a long face.
Oh, damn it to hell. I tell you, you have to watch like a hawk. If you turn your back for a moment, All your stuff is gone. Dirty scum.
Did someone steal from you?
No. They smuggled 20 gold pieces into my pocket. Of course they stole something, you idiot. I tell you, when I get my hands on the dirty swine.
So what are you missing?
My purse, with all my savings in it. And now it's gone.
It'll turn up somewhere.
When I get my hands on him.
Do you have any news?
The dragon hunters have arrived. They strike me as tough bastards, and I hope they are, because otherwise they won't survive for long.
Show me your wares.
That's kind of nice. Do I not have one of those? My warrior amulet gives me like 40 weapon defense, whereas this gives 32 total across a bunch of different ones. Yeah, I'll hold off on that.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm getting ready to fight. What else?
Who do you want to fight against?
I thought I'd drop in on the paladins and kick their fat asses. Idiot. Against the dragons, of course. What did you think?
I like how chapter 1, there's this big deal about nobody believing me that there are dragons in the Valley of Mines, and then not too long later, after I return back with news from Garon, suddenly everyone's like, oh, there's dragons, let's go fight the dragons, dragons, dragons. And I'm just like, why do you all suddenly now believe that there are dragons? Like, how does news like that even get out? There's all these random people that haven't existed anywhere in the game before that just appear out of nowhere to fight dragons that nobody knew about and didn't believe.
Don't the paladins mind you being here?
Nonsense. They have entirely different problems. Most of them are glad to be still alive. The boys' morale isn't the best. That will be their downfall. I mean, just look at those nicked blades they're fixing to go into battle with. Any reasonable warrior would desert immediately.
Have you separated from your group?
My group? I don't have a group. I'm a trophy collector. If I go home without a trophy, then I won't know what I came for. So I can't use anybody else.
Have you set eyes on a dragon yet?
No. I want to get my weapons in shape before I set off.
Aren't you afraid that somebody might beat you to it?
What? Who? Silvio? Have you seen the pathetic figures he's got with him? Silvio can be glad if he gets out of here alive.
Silvio was here?
Here in the castle, you mean? Yeah, he was. But only for a short time. He chatted with a few people here and then set out again.
So where is Silvio now?
The paladins here mentioned an ice dragon in the west. It's supposed to be the most dangerous and powerful of them all. You should have seen the gleam in Silvio's eye when he heard that. One guess where he went.
You don't seem to like him.
What do you mean, like? I'm not particularly proud that I know him. Silvio doesn't have any friends. He needs people who follow him no matter what. That's not for me. I work alone.
Can you help me improve my weapons?
Improve? Better to buy something new and throw away the junk you're carrying around. Maybe I've got something for you. Interested?
What can you sell me?
Man, look at how low I've sunk. Now I'm even selling my weapons to a paladin.
So he's got a bunch of strength weapons. Not interested.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Karaloth's leather satchel.
That's all just gossip.
It was just like you said.
I think I found your purse.
What? Where? What bastard did that?
I already thought as much.
How would I know?
I'll find that out yet.
I can't believe it.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
It was just like you said.
Here we go. Korengar is back. It's starting to get a little dark, so I want to rest up and get back to daylight before I keep talking to people.
For Innos.
I can't believe
It was a really, really stupid idea to come here. I thought there was something to be had here. But there's nothing here but a few arrogant paladins and orcs.
opinion.
That was obvious all along.
You mustn't believe.
You forgot about the dragons.
How could I forget? I'll tell you what, I'm a blacksmith, not a warrior. Look, I make weapons. The fighting I leave to others.
Then why aren't you standing behind an anvil?
The paladins here won't let me into the smithy. I can't make anything unless I want to wind up in the dungeon. You're one of them too. So how about putting in a good word for me, huh?
What's in it for me if I help you?
I don't have anything. At the most, I could teach you something.
I'll try to help you.
How will you manage that? Parsifal has ordered a watch kept on us. No one would dare to disregard it.
I'll do whatever I can.
I can't imagine that he would listen to you.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Where do you come from?
I've joined up with some men from the mountains. We were headed for the valley to make a real profit hunting dragons. Their leader went by the name of Silvio. Boy, what an ass. He treated me like I was his property.
What happened in the castle?
Nothing that I've heard. Of course, I'm worried about what's happened outside the castle.
For my opinion.
What happened in the castle?
Nothing that I've heard.
That was obvious.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Where do you come from?
From the mainland. My people and I fled here.
To the wrong people.
The situation there is getting worse.
I'm not touching that.
The orcs leave nothing but burned-out villages behind. The king has lost control of his realm. You paladins have failed, if you ask me.
Oh, he's getting personal.
Bad business.
Where are your people now?
I left them. They thought they could take everything they wanted, even if it doesn't belong to them. Count me out.
Don't say you didn't know that.
What else do you know about the war?
You haven't been to see your king in a long time, huh? The orcs are outside the capital. But whether it's fallen yet, I don't know. The last thing I heard was that the king is dead. But I don't believe that.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
What are you doing here in the castle?
I heard about the dragons and wanted to help fight them. Unfortunately, I lost my sword when I was sneaking past the orcs. And now I'm stuck here. Without a sword, I can't get out of here. And the swords I can buy here are the worst junk.
Hey, Rethon's got some good stuff.
Is it really true?
I shall find your sword.
That would be great. You should look for it on the high cliff to the south.
You hardly know who to
I probably lost it there, near the orc tents.
I'm a little... like, you probably lost it there? How are you not certain? I feel like a sword is a pretty big thing to lose randomly.
Someone's gotta pay for that.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
Don't I know you? You were Korengar. You used to be a Templar in the swamp camp.
Call me Angar. I have set aside my title. The Brotherhood of the Sleeper has disbanded. Curious, but you seem somehow familiar to me. Yet I cannot quite recall you.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I haven't been able to sleep properly for some time. These constant nightmares.
How did you get here?
After the collapse of the magic barrier, I hid myself in the mountains. It became time for me to do something. I strayed about for days until I suddenly awoke in the castle. Do not ask me what happened. I don't know. To make matters worse, I have also lost the amulet which I have had for years. I shall go mad if I do not find it again.
That was obvious.
What will you do next?
I shall rest a while first, so that I may take up the search for my lost amulet. I have heard something of dragons. It is also being said that many warriors have come to the Valley of Mines to hunt them. I am thinking of joining them. If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
What happened to the others from the swamp camp?
The last thing I remember is that the barrier collapsed, accompanied by a nerve-shattering scream. Stricken with panicked fear, we fell to the ground, writhing in pain. That voice, it grew ever louder. And then, when it was over, they all ran mad and disappeared into the bleak night, screaming loudly. I have not seen them again.
I can't believe it.
Where exactly did you lose your amulet?
Somewhere in the south, shortly before I awoke here in the castle.
Somewhere in
I
the
suspect
south.
it was stolen. I absolutely must have it back.
He really didn't deserve that.
Maybe I can help you find your amulet.
Why not? Some help cannot
You
hurt.
mustn't believe everything you hear.
I'd have done it differently.
What about the dragon hunters?
I will speak with them later. Maybe they can use a strong arm. Someone's got to pay for that.
When will you go?
As soon as I feel better.
Where do you want to look?
I shall go to the south, where I was last. There is a cave tomb there, surrounded by many boulders.
Is that really? I thought that was in the north.
I've gotta go.
Watch your back.
I've
my own
opinion about that.
He listened to the
Oh, okay.
I'm in enough trouble.
It's more like to the west.
He would have never thought of that himself.
It's like west, southwest.
I've my own opinion about that.
I found your amulet.
Thank you. I thought I would never see it again.
I can't believe it.
What makes it so special for you?
It was a gift.
I see. What are you planning to do now?
Get out of this accursed valley. Perhaps we shall meet again. Farewell. That was obvious.
I think if I hadn't already been to the tomb or whatever and gotten the amulet, then I might have bumped into Angar there, and then we could have tag teamed it.
For that is the will of Innos.
Who said that? Nobody ever has everything you hear. Let's wait and see what happens. You mustn't believe everything you hear. Some problems solve themselves. I can't believe that about that. Do you really think?
All quiet.
But
My navel's rubbing against my backbone, man. Garand cut the food rations again. If I don't get a decent meal down my throat, then I'm going to bite Garand's fat ass.
maybe I could.
Are you crazy? Certainly not here. If one of you can find me in the Magician's Temple, there's hardly anyone in the temple, but just don't show up with dry bread or some raw.
You mustn't believe everything you hear. Do you really think? I've heard a thing or two.
I have one thing of fried meat.
I don't want to hear that anymore. So I'm not touching that. I don't want to hear that.
I'll come back for this. I thought I saw a frying pan
You didn't get that from me.
over here. I want to check that.
You already
Really
know
not my problem.
Some don't even know how wicked they are.
Nope, it was just like a random thing. And here's some chests that I didn't see earlier.
I've got no time for
It will never open. That's weird.
Someone's gotta pay for that.
Is there a stove in here that I can cook on? Yes, there is.
That'll only cause more trouble.
deals out fair for him.
If I didn't have enough not touching that.
Alright.
That will never change. Who's ever gonna change that?
He should have known better.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
He should have known.
Hey, you!
know what to believe anymore.
Why aren't you at work?
But that's disgusting. Have you had a look in my chamber? Those filthy meat bugs are everywhere. I have no idea who set up quarters in there before, but I'm certainly not going back into that filthy sty. I hate those beasts, and stop grinning like an idiot.
So why won't they listen to me?
I'll get you now.
What?
Nothing to plunder.
Got my own opinion about that.
The meat bugs are gone. You can go back to polishing your thumb screws or whatever.
Are you sure that not one of those monsters is left?
Pretty sure.
All right, then. Here, take this gold as a token of my gratitude.
Oh, don't make me cry. Wait a minute. Are you all right?
And are you sure?
Look, there's one right behind you.
What? I'm out of here.
What? Then he just turns. Oh, that's hilarious. Meanwhile, I'm hearing a lot of orcs, and I just dove inside of some crates.
I don't know why he gets so worked up. It can't go on like this forever.
They made it sound like the orcs were like right next to the wall. Oh. I guess they're trying to aggro me.
Some problems solve themselves. I don't believe this is gonna change.
What the hell?
As if I didn't have enough problems.
I tried to shoot the thing and it shot like straight ahead as opposed to down. Oh, yeah, that was weird.
But he knew that all along. Do you really think?
Hey, you!
Everything you hear.
How's it?
Dragon hunters, don't make me laugh. But he, if it's equipped.
Alright, yeah.
Do you really think? Sorry for the poor guy. Where did you pick that up? Listen to me. You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
He didn't get that from me.
You should have known better. Listen to the wrong. Wouldn't be so sure.
But he knew that all.
I don't want to hear that.
Nobody will learn.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
That's nothing new.
Damn difficult to steal his purse.
I need to talk to you about Jan.
Jan? Who's that?
A dragon hunter. He's a blacksmith.
Oh, yes, I remember. What about him?
He wants to work in the smithy.
Out of the question. He isn't one of us, and I don't trust him.
Can't you reconsider the matter with Jan?
No, my decision is firm.
Can't you
No.
Did anything important happen?
I'm worried. Very worried.
What for?
Recently, these men showed up. They call themselves dragon hunters. As far as I'm concerned, they're nothing but idlers and criminals. If it were up to me, I'd chase them all out of the castle. Let the orcs take care of them.
Unlike Lord Hagen, they are here.
Yes. Unfortunately, they're all we have. Innos is putting us through a very hard test indeed.
And apart from...
No.
I'm back already.
I never thought we would see you here again. After that scene when you were here a few days ago, I welcome you into our order. Maybe your appearance is a good omen.
I need more information about the dragons.
A rather large swamp has developed in the last couple of days to the west of the old castle. That's rather suspicious, wouldn't you say?
I need more.
At the moment.
And this guy gives other hints, and I think he goes progressively. So like he's telling me that the first dragon I should fight is in the swamp. And once I kill that, I think he'll give me the next clue.
Can I help?
At the moment, we seem to have done everything which is possible from here. There is something, however, something very important which you could do for us outside of these walls. We are planning to cut off the serpent's head.
What do you mean by that?
We know one of their leaders. His name is Hoshpak. He is one of the most influential shaman among the orcs.
And what is my role?
Shaman.
Kill him.
That's a joke.
You are the only one that we can spare.
Huh.
All the other knights are needed here. Hoshpak's tent
Sounds like
is
I'm
situated
disposable.
outside of the siege circle, on a cliff to the south of
Dispensable?
here. You can almost see it from one of the windows there.
Oh man, that's a lot of text.
I still need some equipment.
We don't have much left that we could give you. Well, I can offer you this.
Well, take the elixir of dexterity.
I'll take the elixir of dexterity.
May your arrows never fail to hit their target. Here you are.
All right. I shall kill Hoshpak.
I am glad to hear that. Hoshpak's tent stands on a small cliff. You must have seen it before. It is not far from the path to our mine, directly in the shadow of the big mountain.
Any news?
The orcs are becoming more...
There is a problem.
What, Smith? He's disappeared into the woodwork. Is he back? Then you can tell him.
No, I'm talking about Jan, one of the dragon hunters. He's a smith.
That's good. Our previous smith just slinked off, the coward.
Jan would be willing to take over the smithy.
I see. So you think I can trust him?
Yes?
If you're so sure,
Yes.
then you can vouch for him. If he causes any trouble, you'll answer for it. Agreed?
I'll vouch for Jan.
All right. He can use the smithy. Of course, he'll also have to provide my men with swords.
You already know what I think.
I'm back.
I can see that for myself. Where are the reinforcements?
Lord Hagen will come as soon as he's settled everything. Much has happened.
I don't care. I need troops. There are more and more orcs, and we can't hold out much longer. My men are tired, and we're running out of provisions.
Some volunteers have arrived.
You mean the dragon hunters outside in the yard? They may help us, but there just aren't enough of them. If Hagen doesn't send some men soon, I can't make any guarantees.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
Can you give me more information about the dragons?
I have other things to worry about. My strategic officer Aura can tell you more about that.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Okay. We'll go do...
He should have known better.
I'll go sleep in a bed and give Gerald, whoever, some food. Actually, there's this quartermaster over here. He might, like, have new inventory.
How's business?
So. I hope. How about you?
I could use better paladin's armor.
Some don't even know how wicked they are. Justice will prevail in the end. Don't say you didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have much.
You hardly know who to believe these days. His deeds were just.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
I never knew that. It was just like you.
There you are. So what is it now? Do you have anything for me to eat?
A piece of sausage?
Sure, give it here. Do you have more?
What about a juicy hunk of cheese?
Sure, give it here. Do you have more?
I could give you this ham.
Sure, give it here. Do you have more?
A chunk of meat?
Sure, give it here. Do you have more?
It's just more.
A good soup would hit the spot, don't you think?
Yeah, more.
A chunk of meat?
Yeah, more.
Yeah, more.
A chunk of meat?
Yeah,
more.
A piece of sausage?
Yeah, more.
God, he's just like
What about a
insatiably
juicy hunk of
voracious.
cheese?
That's enough. With that, I'll be fine for a while. Here's my gold. I can't buy anything out here in any case, so you might as well have it. I'd better go then, before somebody sees us.
Wow. Okay, then.
I don't believe this is going to change.
I'm telling you anything new.
He didn't get.
Oh, I can tell Yan that he can go back to work.
Go get your hammer. There's work for you.
You did?
Nobody.
How'd you manage that?
I had to vouch for you, so don't disappoint me.
Don't worry. I'm glad that I can work at all.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
Nothing amazes me.
Alright, so we got a few... Oh, we got a few quests out here. Ah, God. Come on. Jeez. Well, I'm going to use the strafe glitch to not die. I got a few quests out here I can work on. Oh, dear. They're just... So yeah, that's the exploit. The orcs are coded to stop chasing you and attacking or whatever when you get to this battering ram, and it's supposed to be like, you know, since this is your way into the castle in chapter 2 and you're way too weak and low level to actually fight these guys, and I guess canonically or narratively or lore-wise, like, there's supposed to be that crossbowman up there, and like, I guess they're scared that they're gonna get mowed down by the crossbowmen if they do get too close, but as a result, you're able to just lure them back to the battering ram here, and then everything will just stop attacking and you can comfortably wail on them while they stand there passively. Every now and then they'll get an attack off.
Nothing there.
As
Nothing
you've seen.
there.
Oh god. Ow. I like how sometimes there's, well, I don't like, but I'm actually kind of annoyed that sometimes there's a delayed reaction on enemies dying, because the lightning bolt will trigger and they'll still keep attacking for a couple of seconds. So, if you are really patient, you can kill basically every orc around the castle in Chapter 2, like as soon as you get here, by just kiting everything to this battering ram and then attacking as safely from the edge of their little soft barrier thing. And it's really helpful in situations like that where you don't want to have to fight 5 of them all at once. And I could go ahead and do that strategy, oh god, and lure everything there, but that's kind of tediously time consuming. So I'm going to try not to, just to save time and give a little bit more exciting gameplay by trying to fight all these things normally. Ah, he got behind me. Ah, come on, attack. Muchachanga!
Nothing to plunder. Nothing there.
Ow, what the hell?
Nothing to be had there.
See right there, he got a swipe off, like well after he had died. How about if I not aggro 1,000 more orcs while fighting a warg? Oh, how about also if I don't get stuck on the terrain? Or stuck on the warg, no less. Ooh. This is an interesting exploit. Alright, well here comes this guy. Hey, that's good news. That level up gives me enough skill points that I can probably do some things with them, but more importantly, lets me upgrade the Claw Beliar one more step.
Nothing to plunder.
Now, I don't remember where or if there is a statue of Beliar in here, so I might have to... No, wait, there is one near the trading plaza. Not the trading plaza. Like in that forest near the trading plaza. So if I head that way, I can upgrade it. Yeah, the paladin with the Claw Beliar is a bit of an oxymoron, but you know, it's too powerful not to use. This orc was having a little bit of alone time with the sheep. Oh man, there's a whole lot of them right there.
Nothing there.
Yeah, those ones are... That big group there is probably worth using the exploit on. Just to save time.
Nothing to plunder.
And it still does 0 damage to the wargs.
Nothing to be had there.
I have not played the returning mod. I've heard a lot of great things about it, but I think like when I first heard about it, it was still fairly early in the development stage and wasn't really smooth or polished or well translated, and so I had just been putting it off, and so when I reinstalled the game to play again, I just figured I'd play the base game because it's been 8 or 9 years since I played Gothic 2. You know, just to refresh my memory on how the base game is before doing any crazy extensive modding to it. Ah, don't attack the warg. Ow. Muchachonga. Muchachonga. Ow.
Nothing to be had there.
And honestly, with how long this game is, even without the returning mod, I'm feeling like I'm probably not going to want to play it again real soon. Because, man, this game is so long.
I hardly know what to believe in anymore. I have done differently.
For Innos.
Well, if returning is in fact much harder, that's probably a good thing, because like I've played Gothic 2 enough times over the years to not really struggle with it that much, and so it would be kind of nice to have a challenge again. I'll set it on the easiest difficulty. Okay. It's like I remember when Night of the Raven came out, and that changed things to make the progression system a little longer or more drawn out, you know, because it starts costing more and more skill points. And they kind of upped the difficulty in some other ways. And it's still really, it's not that hard if you know what you're doing. Ow. Oh, man. Ah. Oh, hello, he's right there. And the other one is about to die. What? Where are you going? Well, this is a first. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
Nothing to be had there. Nothing there. Nothing there.
I just burned all that mana and I didn't do any damage to him. It does a good chunk on everything but the Orc Elites, which just does no damage. Unless that was some weird glitch. Then it seems like these guys are just have too much resistance to get hit by that spell. Not as effective as I'd hoped it would be. But it did help. I really did not intend to come wipe out like every orc in this area, but they're all just like right here, so I may as well. Man. How did that not aggro the rest of them? Okay. That's surprising. It's also surprising that I'm not getting lightning bolts. I think that was a lot of attacks at the start without a single lightning bolt. Oh. This might be a bit challenging. Oh god, I'm stuck. Ah, man. That was a little lucky. I kind of got one of them stuck. I can't target the there we go. Oh, please target the correct thing. Ah, jeez. Oh, the warg is attacking the shaman. And I didn't get the credit for it. Oh hell. Didn't realize I was out of mana. Oh god. Wow. These, like, forward roll thingies are from the acrobatics skill, which you learn automatically when you get your dexterity up to 90. That's, I think, only part of Night of the Raven. They had it in the first game as a skill that you could learn from Buster, I think. And then they took it out in Gothic 2, but then added it back in the expansion. So, with 90 dexterity, you learn acrobatics, and then that converts all of your standard jump actions to this long forward roll thing, which I don't know really how useful it is. Mostly I just use it to get around a little bit faster. Ah. I suppose the idea is supposed to be to, like, get across chasms or longer jumps and things, but I think in practice that only comes into play like once or twice in the expansion. Yeah, it's kind of goofy, especially like when I'm just running around and doing this crazy, tiring jump thing all the time. Oh man, this is stressful. Ow. Nope. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty good. This is like the probably 5th time that I've played this game.
Nothing there.
since it came out in 2003.
Nothing there.
And so I know a lot of the tips and strategies and things to, like, how to fight enemies and also how to level your character and find good equipment and builds and things like that, so I'm probably much stronger now than like an average player would be at this point in the game. Oh man, oh god. I just don't want to fight 5 of them. This is ridiculous.
Nothing to be had there.
Well, are you playing the vanilla version or with the Night of the Raven expansion? If you have the gold edition, that includes Night of the Raven.
Where did you pick that up, then? For Innos.
Alright, so Night of the Raven is gonna... It changes a lot of the game's leveling mechanics from what the original game was like. So basically it becomes a lot harder to increase your skills because the costs to increase stats and things starts increasing the higher your skills get, so it kind of slows down your leveling progression a bit. So general advice is to not spread your skill points around too much at the start of the game, because you don't want to be like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of situation. It's kind of better to focus on 1 or maybe 2 sort of specialties and then stick to that for a while until you get up to a decent level of competency. Like, I typically always focus on increasing my one-handed combat skill at least to 30%, because you're going to find a lot of one-handed weapons early on, and two-handed weapons take too much strength to use and really aren't as useful until you get your two-handed combat skill up to like 60%. So like one-handed weapons are just generally better at the start of the game, and when you get your one-handed skill to 30%, then you the move set gets a lot faster and smoother, and it just is a lot easier to fight stuff. So I usually focus on getting one-handed combat to 30% sooner rather than later, like almost the very first thing I do. And at that point, like, you can kind of decide whether you want to be more of a strength character or a... Oh. You can be more of a strength character or a dexterity character. And then just put a bunch of skill points into either strength or dexterity. So strength will let you equip, well, most melee weapons in the game use strength as a requirement, and strength also adds to your melee damage output. So if you're going to be a melee fighter, strength is usually a good option. But dexterity will let you also use a couple of dexterity-based swords. Like, for instance, I have this Betty and the Master Sword and Rapier and things like that use dexterity instead of strength. But having dexterity also lets you equip bows as ranged weapons, and you can learn assorted thieving skills. And the thieving skills are all really good for increasing your revenue stream. Like, you're probably going to want to learn how to pick locks at some point, no matter what type of build you're going to be, because there's a ton of locked chests in this game, and you're going to want to get everything that you can. Pickpocketing is also good to have, but it kind of requires you to have a high dexterity to really do a lot with it. So if you're not gonna specialize in dexterity, then pickpocketing is much less useful. But picking locks, lockpicking is good no matter what your build. Some other things like animal skinning, taking animal skins and trophies and things.
Nothing to be had there.
That can be a good revenue stream, because the more, like, the earlier you get those skills, the more things that you can, animal skins and things you can get from enemies over the course of the game. But I kind of feel like it's not necessary if you are thorough in your exploration, because you're gonna, if you explore everywhere possible, and like if you have lockpicking, you're gonna get a ton of loot and money and things, and you don't really need to have those animal skinning abilities except for a couple of quests and things like that. So usually I don't bother with that except for certain quests. And other than that, like, it's really just a matter of talking to every named NPC you find, and exploring everywhere possible. Why can I not hit this damn orc? Oh, great. Now the elite's in front. Ah, give me a break. Just used an entire mana bar, and I don't think I got a single hit on the warrior. Oh, no, I got like 2. Otherwise, for most combat, most melee battles, a kind of effective strategy is to backstep and then do counterattacks. Most enemies will only attack like 2 times in a row, so if you, for instance, do a backstep, you can then, if you do a backstep or a block, you can then usually get 2 more attacks in. So if you like backstep or block and then attack, attack, block, attack, attack, block, is usually a pretty good technique for most enemies in the game. Like most enemies, you can bait into attacking you, and then you can block or dodge the attack and then get a few hits in. But most enemies have sort of exploitable AI patterns in how they attack, and you just kind of be observant of what they're doing so that you can take advantage of their AI. Like these orcs, for instance. Every single orc, when it's charging at you, will do an overhand attack like that, and it's really easy to just strafe around them and dodge the attack, and then you can get a couple hits in that way. Ow. Generally speaking, I also don't usually recommend being a fire magician on your first playthrough, because the fire mages are a little bit harder to play as because they're more reliant on mana and spells, and early on you just don't have enough mana or powerful enough spells to really get by. And so it's like kind of much harder in the early stages of the game, but conversely, mages I think are the most powerful at the end of the game. It's like you can be a fire mage, but it's going to be a little bit harder up front. I'm kind of tempted to fire rain all these wargs, but let's see if I can get just a few of them instead of aggroing all 6 of them. Oh, that's all 6 of them. I'm probably gonna die. These wargs don't really have a easily exploitable moveset, and I can't block their attacks, so I don't really have much choice other than to just tank hits and run away. I'm using a Samson Meteor mic. I think it's like about $60, the USB mic. I also use this mic for recording music. Since I'm a musician, I do a lot of recording with this as well, and it's probably not the best mic you can get, but for $60 I think it's a pretty good deal. Ha, the greatest enemy of all, a meat bug. Oh man, there's just so many enemies. I think one nitpick I would give this game is that there's maybe a little too much combat. Like, the combat system is really good for its time, being one of the very first action RPGs to have come out in the 21st century. And there were other games before this, obviously, but I think Gothic was one of the better action RPGs. And, like, while the combat's pretty good, there's just a whole lot of it. And it's kind of unfortunate that you have to go through with all the combat if you want to max out your character in terms of gaining XP. And, like, while the combat's really good, I just get a little tired of spending hours fighting things. Ah, come on. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel, so if you... I don't know that I have it linked in my profile here, but if you look up the Nocturnal Rambler, you should be able to find a link to my blog or my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel I have like full playthroughs of Gothic 1 and all my other videos of Gothic 2, plus assorted reviews and things, so you can check that out if you'd like. The blog has like almost 8 years worth of reviews and things. I only recently started getting into video streaming and video reviewing, so the YouTube channel and Twitch and everything is much more new. Oh.
Nothing to be had there.
Wow, frame rate. Seems like I'm just hitting the damn elite. I don't really know that I have any particular thought on Twitch and YouTube. I mean, they are what they are. YouTube's a little bit annoying with its like copyright protection system. That's whatever the automated system is that they use to like search and flag videos for copyright can sometimes be incredibly aggressive. And so, like, I've heard a lot of people who've, and I've even run into this a little bit, where people are doing reviews and other things that should fall under fair use, but then the auto flagging system pings you for it and says, sorry, you can't upload this video. And then it takes time to argue against the auto mod or whatever to say, no, this should be fair use, I'm allowed to do this, I'm not violating copyright, and so on. I've enjoyed putting together video reviews. Normally, like, I spent 8 years just doing written reviews on my blog, and I think as a consumer, generally speaking, I prefer to read reviews rather than watch reviews, because I just process information better in a written format versus an auditory format. But the video review, it's kind of nice to be able to sync up gameplay footage of the things I'm talking about to literally show the critiques that I'm giving, as opposed to just sort of describing them and then using a screenshot to show it. But at the same time, doing the video reviews is like probably 10 times as much, takes 10 times as much time and effort to do, both to sift through the footage to find the little snippets that I need and then to edit everything together. And so far, I'm not sure that it's really worth all the extra time and effort I've put into it, because I haven't really been getting much traction lately on the YouTube channel, but I'm kind of hoping if I just keep at it, eventually it'll catch on and start to get a little bit more recognition than it has. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to sort of the evolution of how the platform is going to work with digital copyright laws. That's all getting, oh dear. It's kind of, I feel like it's all getting way out of hand from really what it should be.
Nothing to be had there. Alright, so my sword now. 36% chance of lightning bolt. Ooh, I'm getting really close to another level up.
Ooh, which will also give me another chance to improve the claw. It's like as tedious as doing all this combat can get, it's giving me a lot of XP. Yep, it's my first time playing Bloodborne. I'm sort of alternating Gothic 2 and Bloodborne right now. And I've played all of the Dark Souls games, including Demon Souls. So I'm kind of experienced in the general sense of I know how the games work, and I have a pretty good feel for like the combat system and things like that, but it is my first time playing Bloodborne. So there's a lot of awkwardly kind of questioning how the new mechanics work and wondering like what I'm supposed to be doing or things like that.
Nothing there.
Whoop. Well, that's a lot. I'm assuming you're doing a lot of PvP if you have that many hours. Not die here. I'm not exactly sure how many hours I put into Bloodborne, but it's probably like about 12 or so, and like I haven't even been invaded yet, so that's another thing where I just don't understand how some of the things in that game work. Like, I was never a huge fan of the PvP system in the other games. Like,
nothing to be had there.
I liked
Nothing to plunder.
being invaded and being able to invade, but it wasn't like engaging enough to keep me playing well after I'd finished the game, you know? So it's not like I'm dying for PvP or anything, but it's like just weird that I haven't encountered any yet. Interesting. What? Now it's suddenly damaging the warg? I am shocked that for some reason the Holy Arrow damaged that warg. because it wasn't doing anything earlier. But now that I've leveled up again, I can... got stuck. I can go level up my claw again. I tell you what, let me just take a speed potion. I guess another tip I would have for playing Gothic 2 with Night of the Raven on your first time would be do the expansion stuff before you come into... well, maybe not. Like, if you want to make the game easier, do the expansion stuff before coming into the Valley of Mines, which is where I currently am. Because the expansion adds like an extra map. You go through a loading screen to go to an extra map, sort of inside of the main quest line. And so it's kind of, it's tailored for early game or lower levels, so it'll get you more XP and make you a little bit stronger when you come into this area for the first time. But there's some debate about whether it's better to come here first or second, because the original release's intention was for you to come in here when you were way too low to be able to fight anything, so that it creates like a tense and challenging gameplay situation where you are not strong enough to fight things and just have to run away from everything. And so if you do the expansion stuff first, it's maybe kind of trivializes that difficulty a bit. I'm not doing so hot. Jeez. I just want to kill this one orc. There we go. Oh man, I almost died there. Now, in the other Souls games, there's usually a restriction where you had to be like in body form or human form or something to be invaded. Is there anything like that in Bloodborne? Like any special condition other than PlayStation Plus? Ow! He hit me. Oh, jeez. All of a sudden, I just can't fight orcs. I've been, like, murdering these guys with flawless impunity, and now they're just kicking my butt. Alright. Weren't there two of them? Where'd the other one go? Also, why is this guy not aggroing me yet? That was weird. There's supposed to be two elites. It's like he just disappeared. Oh, jeez, don't hit that guy. Come on. See, that makes it sound almost more like dueling, like both players sort of have to be actively seeking out PvP. As opposed to like somebody just minding their own business, playing the game and then being invaded by an enemy. Oh man, there's so many orcs. I'm getting tired of fighting orcs.
Nothing there.
Okay. Mushroom. Oh, hello. They just all aggroed. Oh, I think they got a little aggroed on each other. Why would you say that? Why do you Why would it be better to not be invaded? Is that just like for the sake of... Oh, what the hell? There's like an invisible orc. Like, is that just for the sake of not being disturbed by another player? Because I actually really like the invasion system. I like the idea of other players being basically enemies in the game, and the increased stress and tension that comes with having like a sort of a sudden spike in difficulty. And plus there's like some creative emergent gameplay situations that can arise from that. Like, one of my favorite things in Demon Souls was to invade as a Black Phantom and then help players by killing enemies for them. And so I like all of those sort of creative situations that can arise from unexpected PvP. So now it seems like my thing is not hitting this warg. Nope, don't use that. Oh, I wasted that potion. Why was my cursor highlighted over that? I'm a little surprised that these orcs are not all aggroing me. Oh, here they come. Mujachanga. Yeah, that's true. It's at the same time, though, I think From Software kind of fixed that issue. I think it was in Dark Souls 2, but definitely Dark Souls 3, where they sort of... they added more restrictions, that way you could only invade somebody based on a combination of soul level and weapon upgrade level. So like it evened the playing field a little bit more for a new player, since like somebody wasn't being invading into their world with a +10 weapon. But even then, like, you're right, it's an experienced player who knows what they're doing can give themselves a really powerful statistical boost over new players. And it's, I guess, maybe not fun if you're a new player to basically get steamrolled by an experienced player like that, but I don't know. I always kind of figured that was part of the game's sort of brutal cutthroat difficulty. I'm like timing these dodges so poorly, I guess. Oh, certainly. I'm like, it was definitely flawed in Dark Souls 1. And I think that's why, like, I think that's why in Dark Souls 2 they figured out to how to restrict the invasion system a little bit better to prevent those extreme imbalances. If it wasn't Dark Souls 2, then they definitely had it fixed by 3. Like, I know Demon Souls was especially bad. Like, if you knew what you were doing, you could get weapons that had insanely high base damage, which would be like, even though your stats were really low, it would just do so much damage that it would completely overshadow anything a new player would have. In addition to other things like the health regeneration and farming infinite heals, you know. Like, so the system was flawed in the beginning, certainly, but I think they got better over time about it. Ah, I'm like 0 for 3 on dodging those things. Why am I so bad at this now? There we go. Alright. Feel like I'm getting close to finally being done.
Nothing there.
Killing all these damn orcs. At least I hope I am. Because, man, I'm getting tired of fighting orcs. Where did this guy come from? That was unexpected. Is he like down here? I don't know. Oh, jeez. Damn it. Yeah, the sword I was thinking of in Demon Souls, I think did like 200 or 210 damage or something ridiculous like that. It's like the one that you got from the Shrine of Storms level, from that NPC Phantom. Can you die? Oh my god, he hit me like 3 times. I He hit me 3 times after he died. Oh, that's fine. That's... You don't have to apologize about that.
Nothing to plunder.
I understand you perfectly well. In fact, it seems that most of the people who tune in to watch me play Gothic are usually from Germany. So I've got a lot of people talking about not being native English speakers, so I completely understand. It's getting so dark that I can barely see. Oh god. Okay. So I guess you would speak German then? Ah. I think it's an invisible shaman. That was weird. And still not hitting the warg.
Nothing to be had there.
That's a lot. So I obviously speak English, but I did study German for many years in high school and college.
Nothing to plunder.
So ich kann Deutsch, aber nicht so gut. I can't remember the word for practice, but I don't get much practice speaking German because not many people in the United States speak it. And so there's just fewer opportunities for me to stay fresh with my German.
Nothing to plunder.
I have not really looked into Sekiro at all. Like, I haven't even seen trailers for it, so I really can't comment on it. I'm sort of hoping that it's different enough from Dark Souls and Bloodborne to be something completely different, because I think I'm getting a little fatigued of playing basically the same game every couple of years. Since
nothing there.
Like, Demon Souls came out 10 years ago in 2009. And so, like, all of From Software's games have been basically the same game, but with slight tweaks and iterative updates. So, like, I'm hoping that Sekiro will be, or is, different enough to not feel like the same thing, but, you know, I haven't played it, and I haven't even looked into it. Like, right now I have a quite substantial backlog of games I'm trying to play, so I probably won't even get around to playing Sekiro for a while. How different would you say that Sekiro is from a typical FromSoft game? Because, like, Bloodborne, for instance, has some fairly notable changes from Dark Souls, but it, you know, it still feels like the same game to me. Oh my goodness.
I agree with you completely.
You mustn't believe everything you hear. For in us,
will it ever change?
Alright, let me pause the video here for a second.
his deeds were just.